Well, I think I don't really know any other way. I'm a teacher and a coach. I preach to my own kids. There's no substitute for hard work. Sometimes, can you work smarter than harder? Yeah, but I've already gone and met with as many precinct people as I can. It's freezing cold out, and I'm going to continue today and just continue till I hit everybody. Then when the weather breaks, just start really getting into the neighborhoods with my volunteers and people that are pretty passionate about what I'm trying to accomplish. I think a voice for families. I think a lot of families, everybody sees the pie graphs, everybody talks about how many people are overdosing, but to really bring down a passionate voice and make decisions based on what's best for families and not necessarily businesses and not necessarily the rehab centers, I think that's something that I really believe in. And probably the reality of it is, for as sad as it might sound, if my brother didn't pass away, I probably wouldn't be here right now. I feel that strong about it, as I do education. So I'm taking it to the people, see how it plays out. I don't know how education can't be. It's the biggest part of the state budget. It affects everybody. People could talk about what district you're from, who you represent. People are people. Kids go to school. Kids learn. It's still the foundation of America for the most part, public education. And we just got to do some work across the aisle, try to get some testing streamlined, try to get our finances together. So, we don't have to have levies every 3 years or 2 years and people in the community get their heads beat in and teachers getting bad names because we have to continually try to raise funds. We got to try to figure this out a little bit, and it'll make everybody a lot happier, especially the homeowners, who are paying taxes, and the teachers who, for some ungodly reason, have gotten a bad name through the years as being something that they weren't supposed to be when they went into this profession. Well, I think number one, obviously, you talk about the rainy day fund, you talk about things of that nature. I think one unique issue could be a lot of that money, instead of just saying, hey, send it back to the townships, let's send it back to infrastructure. Maybe give some of these townships money to start dealing with their road situations. That's probably the worst part. Every trustee in Ohio deals with the same issues, and that's the infrastructure, the deterioration of the roads. So I would like to see something like that, maybe pursue that kind of angle once I get down there. And then even from a financial standpoint, the burden that is always thrown around about the Narcan and things of that nature, we hear issues about let's go after the big businesses. Let's sue them for the problem that was created here. How about just start with getting some money off them to pay for the Narcan? So then it kind of eliminates some of the taxpayers that don't have that passionate feeling towards people that are struggling to pay for that and take that burden off the taxpayers. I think for the most part it's very important because we're still a union town, we're still a blue-collar town, and I would lay my record really with anybody as being a lifelong union-paying member, being an educator. I think it's important from that standpoint to give the underdog a voice down there. I think, but also from the standpoint is you just can't beat your head in the ground and continually blame the other party. You got to sit down, you got to go across the aisle and do some work. I was fortunate enough to grow up in a family where a lot of things were accomplished at that time with my father, with Jim Trafficant, with working on the other side of the aisle to get things done. Salt Springs Road, V&M Star, things of those natures, the Covelli Center. So you do got to work with the other side, but I still, deep down inside, you need somebody representing this area that lives it, walks it, and breathes it. And I think that's important, being a working man, being a union member, being an educator, being for the underdog and helping people out and being compassionate about people. And I think, I would feel pretty confident that my life's work reflects that. It just doesn't, I'm not going to create that in the next month. I am who I am, and I feel pretty confident in that. I think one thing it taught me is he always said every decision he made, he thought about us. And especially back then, it's not even, today's like playing two-hand tag football. Back then, guys were getting, you had the mob, you had serious stuff going on, you had a lot of corruption. And I always take that message. Everything I do, I'm not going down for something. I want to keep my family in a positive light, and I just try the best I can. So if I got anything from him, it was just always do what's right, do what's best for families, do what's best for the citizens, and it'll play out in the end. It'll be good.
What can you take from being a township trustee and apply it to Columbus?
I think just working with businesses. We have Republic Services who's out here. It's one of the bigger employees in our area. Negotiating with them, doing some things with them, working with them to get SROs in the office, having them share a little bit of the cost, dealing with NISOR. So I think that expanded me, because just being a special ed teacher and a coach, I got that personal feel going on. But through the last 6 years, I definitely had some good inner workings with the police department, making sure we're stable there, keeping us safe, and then with the businesses. So that was probably something that I added to my resume and makes me feel a little bit more confident when dealing with businesses.
You touched on it there, and it's something just because I know who you are. What does being a football coach and a special educator help you, I guess, in the political aspects?
It's real. It's real. I don't have to create, an image. It's people. It's, you kind of use that adage. It's like when you do something good, it's kindness. When you do something for money, it's business. And my whole life has just been doing stuff that's good. Now, could that parlay into an election? I'm not calling everybody that I talk to about their kids being on opiates, or the kids that I coached or saved or bought them shoes and things like that. So you just hope that your body of work and how you treat people could transform into a victory here. Eric Ungaro is you. I'm you. Like when we talk about the Democrat Party, I'm for working men and women. I've been working. Union representatives, I've been there. I'm in a profession now that's under the gun a little bit. I do my best to help the underdog and try to build up programs, be it Solace for the Valley, be it the Red Zone. I take on challenges like that, even though people might not find them popular, or they might be a little iffy to some people that they're talking about. I like that. That's what I'm about. The issues that are going to be addressed, be it the opiate epidemic, at the edge of state of education and economic development, I've been living it. So I think I could bring the most passion and definitely a lot of energy down there, and I'm willing to work with anybody. So, and I'll have my confidence in myself to do that.